21st of September, and then on the other parts of the world, some parts of the world, 22nd of September, early in the morning, just after midnight, we're going to experience a partial solar eclipse in the sign of Virgo at 29 degrees of Virgo. This is going to be the last solar eclipse of the year. Right? This is going to be the last solar eclipse of the year. It's going to be potent, even though it is not a total solar eclipse because it is quite far away from the south node or the nodes of the moon. It's still a solar eclipse nonetheless. The solar eclipse is going to be felt, or it's going to happen in the Pacific, right? Oceania, parts of New Zealand, all the way to Antarctica. So not many parts of the world is going to see this, but nonetheless, this is an eclipse. An eclipse is a pivotal moment, astrologically speaking, right? This solar eclipse, partial solar eclipse at 29 degrees of Virgo is important because first, the degree is 29 degrees, anaretic degree, the ending. This is also a south node eclipse, also an ending, right? Releasing, letting go, 29 degree and south node eclipse. But this is a new moon, right? Because this is a solar eclipse, it's basically a new moon on steroids. So there's something that's going to start, that's going to happen, that's going to, so there's something that we going to create, something new is coming. But before it could happen, we need to let go and we need to finish things, south node and 29 degrees. The solar eclipse it's going to be in the sign of Virgo. The ruler, which is Mercury, has just entered Libra a few days prior, right? And then this solar eclipse is going to be opposed by Saturn and Neptune. By Saturn opposing by sign and degrees, but by Neptune not opposing by sign because Neptune is still in Aries, but it's going to oppose by degrees. So be careful of self-criticism, be careful of depression, be careful of illusions, be careful of deceptions, Neptune. Be careful of restrictions. Be careful of going into trouble or having troubles with authority figures, Saturn, right? Just a few days before, during, and a few days after, just take it slow, rest, pray, right? Just let the universe take charge. But this eclipse is going to be in a very good configurations with Pluto, with Uranus, and also with Jupiter, not by degrees, but by sign, sextile. Cancer and Virgo is sextiling each other. So we're going to have a direct support from Pluto and Uranus, and we're going to have a direct challenge with Saturn and Neptune, additional support from Jupiter, and the ruler of this eclipse is in the second house from the eclipse itself. If you use a Vedic technique, which is the second house from the first is Virgo, the eclipse, the sign where the eclipse is happening, and Mercury is the sign after that, so it's second house. So there's going to be something related to money, resources, that's going to happen because of this eclipse, because the ruler is in one house after, or one sign after Virgo. So this is going to be my simple breakdown on the effects of this eclipse for all 12 rising signs. But remember, eclipse is not an energy we want to play with, but it's also not an energy that we want to be scared to. You don't have to be scared of the eclipse. We just need to just let go, let the universe take charge, and just pray for the best, and just trust the universe. Okay, for the first rising sign, we will go to Aries rising, the most accurate, followed by Aries sun and Aries moon. For my dear Aries rising friends, this partial solar eclipse in the sign of Virgo will happen in your 6th house. This is the house of health, chores, daily details, the details of your career. This is the house of work. This is the house of health, physical health. This is also the house of pets and debt and rental situations. So eclipse happening here is asking you to open your mind, open your heart, let go, right? Because this is a 29-degree south node eclipse. Let go in order for you to gain something new, because this is a solar eclipse. Nonetheless, new moon on steroids. The universe is also asking you to just trust the universe in terms of 6th house matters, in terms of your health, your pets, the details of your work, your career, right? In terms of your debt, right? So basically, the universe wants to guide you back to your supposed path in terms of 6th house matters, but you have to trust the universe. Yes, eclipse energy can be unstable, erratic, unpredictable, even scary at times. But there is a purpose for that. Eclipses are a portal of energies, pure universal energies, that is guiding you, that is trying to guide you, right, to the right path, to the path that is supposed to align with your soul, right? This is a south node portal, meaning that there is something that you need to let go in terms of your health, in terms of your work, pets, but that letting go in order for you to gain something new moon, in the form of an eclipse. So just trust the universe and align and let go, surrender and pray. But at the same time, if you want to prepare by doing simple eclipse rituals, by letting go. Write down what you want to let go and write down what you want to gain out of the letting go. So just trust the universe. Okay, for the second rising sign, we will go to Taurus rising, the most accurate, followed by Taurus sun and Taurus moon. For my dear Taurus rising friends, this partial solar eclipse in the sign of Virgo will happen in your 5th house. This is the house of children, fun, creativity, romance, love. This is also the house of gambling, entrepreneurship. This is the house where you can express yourself to the truest version. This is the house of self-expression. This is the house of joy and happiness. So eclipse here is asking you to let go in order for you to gain something in terms of the 5th house matters. This is a good house, a lucky house. So if there is something that is bothering you in terms of maybe your children, your creative pursuit, your hobbies, the universe is asking you through this eclipse to let go, to trust the universe, in order for you to gain something new, something valuable. Maybe you have to trust, maybe your relationship with your children is marked by your anxieties towards their decision. Maybe the universe is asking you, don't be so anxious about your children's decision. Trust them and trust the universe. So you will gain something new in terms of your relationship with your children. Maybe you are trying to have a children instead of controlling everything, right? Because Virgo is often associated with control, trying to be perfect, every details. Why don't you just let go and surrender? Maybe you will have the children that you really wanted, after all. So just pray, trust, and just let go, and basically realize that the universe will always have your back. Okay, for the third rising sign, we will go to Gemini rising, the most accurate, followed by Gemini sun and Gemini moon. For my dear Gemini rising friends, this partial solar eclipse in the sign of Virgo will happen in your 4th house. This is the house of family, lineage, ancestry, the house of home, literally your home, properties, your mother, emotional foundations. The eclipse here is asking you to let go of something related to the fourth house matters in order for you to gain something new, something more valuable. Maybe you have something related to your properties or your home or your families that involve a shadow side of Virgo. This eclipse is asking you to let go of that, South Node and 29 degree, in order for you to gain something new. New moon, solar eclipse. Maybe you're trying to buy another property, but you're reluctant to let go of your other properties, right? Buying and selling properties, fourth house. This eclipse will show you that, yes, you can let go of that properties, even though you love that property so much. Maybe the best thing is for you to let go in order for you to gain something new. Buy new properties. That is even better in the future. So just trust the universe. Trust the universe. Let go, but eventually trust that the universe will always have your back. For the fourth rising sign, we will go to Cancer rising, the most accurate, followed by Cancer sun and Cancer moon. For my dear Cancer rising friends, this partial solar eclipse in the sign of Virgo will happen in your third house. This is about communication, siblings, immediate travel, people around you that immediately surround you, your neighbors. This is also about your gadgets, your vehicles. This is basically about communication skills and knowledge. So there's something here that the universe asks you to let go in order for you to gain something new. Maybe you don't want to finish something in terms of your learning, because third house is also learning and communications. You're not sure about letting that kind of communication go, or you're not sure of letting go of this subject in terms of your learning process. But the universe is asking you to let go in order for you to gain something new. The same thing with your siblings. Maybe you hold a grudge, or you hold something that is negative towards your siblings. Or maybe you're overly critical towards your siblings, Virgo, the shadow side of Virgo. The universe is asking you to just let go and trust. Because eventually this eclipse, the purpose of eclipses are to align you, is to align us back to our path. So just trust the universe. Okay, for the fifth rising sign, we will go to Leo rising, the most accurate, followed by Leo sun and Leo moon. For my dear Leo rising friends, this partial solar eclipse in the sign of Virgo will happen in your second house. This is about money, resources, food. So basically the universe is asking you to not letting go of your money, but let go of your unhealthy attachment towards money. The unhealthy side of Virgo, which is meticulous, yes, detail-oriented, perfectionist, but it can suck your soul if you rely too much on that shadow side of Virgo. So you need to let go so that the universe can bring you more prosperity, more money. So basically the universe is asking you to let go, 29 degrees and South Node eclipse, to let go of your unhealthy attachment towards money and resources so that the universe can give you more. Okay, for the next rising sign, we will go to Virgo rising, the most accurate, followed by Virgo sun and Virgo moon. Okay, for my dear Virgo rising friends, you are the star of this eclipse. Why? Because the eclipse is happening in your first house, in your sign. So basically, the universe is asking you to let go of things related to your body, your personality, your aura, yeah, the energy that you radiate. So the energy that you radiate, what you think is what you experience on the outside, right? Outside is the reflection of the inside, right? So basically the universe is asking you to cleanse your first house, outside and inside, right? In order for the universe to give you more. New moon on steroids, eclipse. Yes, eclipse energies can be unstable, unpredictable, right? It can be sometimes downright dangerous, but you have to trust the universe. You have to trust the universe. You have to let go and just think positively. The universe wants the best for you in terms of your first house. First house also often related to things that whatever you want, even though it is about your personality, your effort, right? First house, your body, right? Your aura, your energies. In the end of the day, first house is about you. You are the star. So Virgo, let go of your negative shadow side of that Virgo archetype, and then trust the universe, so that universe can bring more of what you want. Okay, for the next rising sign, we will go to Libra rising, the most accurate, followed by Libra sun and Libra moon. For my dear Libra rising friends, this partial solar eclipse in the sign of Virgo will happen in your 12th house. This is about mental health, rest, relaxation, sleep, dreams. This is about isolation. This is about where you want to separate yourself from the crowd in order for you to find peace. This is also about the other world. Yes, the other dimensions, 12th house. But mostly, the most important, crucial part of 12th house is your karma, your past life, and your mental health. This is about places where you can find things that you unconsciously do to yourself that will end up sabotaging yourself. That's why it is important to check. So for my dear Libra rising friends, focus on your mental health. If you're not spiritual, which is, I highly doubt it, if you tune into my channel, the most important thing is that you relax, you sleep more, right? You focus on yourself more, right? Pray, trust the universe, surrender, and focus on your mental health. You have to realize that the universe is giving you this chance in the form of an eclipse to release your hidden subconscious pattern that always ends up undoing your blessings, undoing your happiness. So trust the universe and focus on your mental health. Okay, for the next rising sign, we will go to Scorpio rising, the most accurate, followed by Scorpio sun and Scorpio moon. For my dear Scorpio rising friends, this partial solar eclipse in the sign of Virgo will happen in your 11th house. This is about friendship, networking, social media, hopes and dreams, and long-term goals. So basically, you will find out who's your true friends with this solar eclipse. Let go of the old fake friends and you will gain new friends, the truly caring friends that you need. The same thing with networkings. Your network. The same thing also with social media, right? Detox from the superfluous, the very shallow part of social media in order for you to gain the greatest benefit from social media. Okay, for the next rising sign, we will go to Sagittarius rising, the most accurate, followed by Sagittarius sun and Sagittarius moon. For my dear Sagittarius rising friends, this partial solar eclipse in the sign of Virgo will happen in your 10th house. This is about career, public image. So there's something in terms of your career that you need to let go, South Node eclipse and 29 degrees, that you need to let go in order for you to gain something new insights, new experiences, right? New growth in terms of your career. It can be challenging, it can be scary because this is a eclipse energy, right? Can be unpredictable, but this is for your growth. This is for your evolution as a soul. This is what the universe has in store for you, is actually what you really want in terms of your growth for your career. Because this is a South Node eclipse, in order for you to gain something new, you need to let go. The same thing with the energetic degrees. This because this eclipse happens at 29 degrees of Virgo, so this is an ending eclipse. An ending and letting go in terms of your career in order for you to gain something new. Maybe a new career, a new prospect in your career. Okay, for the 10th rising sign, we will go to Capricorn rising, the most accurate, followed by Capricorn sun and Capricorn moon. For my dear Capricorn rising friends, this partial solar eclipse in the sign of Virgo will happen in your 9th house. This is a lucky house together with the 11th and also the 5th, right? This is about letting go in terms of traveling, foreigners, foreign lands, in terms of visas, in terms of educations, higher education, in terms of philosophy of life, religion, right? letting go of those things that are not working relative to those things, relative to the ninth house matters, things that are not working for you in order for you to gain something new. Because this is a south node and an anaretic degrees eclipse, letting go, the theme is very strong, but because this is a solar eclipse, new moon, you're about to gain something magnificent, something very substantial, if you let go of those things related to the ninth house matters that's not working, right? Maybe you're trying so much to travel into that country or to that region, but obstacles after obstacles. Maybe you have to check and recheck. Maybe you need to reconsider. Maybe I should travel to another part of the world. The same thing with your education, higher education. The same thing with your relationship with foreigners or foreign lands. The same thing with your relationship to religion and your philosophy of life. Maybe all this time your philosophy is not really serving you, your philosophy of life. Your mindset is not serving you. Let that go in order for you to gain something new. For the 11th rising sign, we will go to Aquarius rising, the most accurate, followed by Aquarius sun and Aquarius moon. For my dear Aquarius rising friends, this partial solar eclipse in the sign of Virgo will happen in your 8th house. Yes, it is true. 8th house can be a difficult house. An eclipse energy can be difficult. But it doesn't mean that you're not going to gain something substantial. This is also a money house. 8th house is a money house. It is also the house of transformation, death, rebirth, the house of psychology, the house of the depth, the house of secrets, the occult, the house of intimacy, shared resources. So, yes, maybe you could experience some form of crisis, but you need to let go, surrender, and trust. Remember, the 8th house is the house where you transform your trust. Right? This is the house where you transform your trust to the universe. This is basically the house where the universe is testing you so that you can trust the universe. Remember, this is the house of transformation. You need to transform by letting go. Stop being perfect and trust the universe. In terms of money, for example, investments, because this is the house of shared resources, other people's money. Right? This is the house of big, big money. The universe can give you insights. I'm not saying that you should invest. No, I'm saying that eclipse energies are volatile but necessary energies. And this is happening in your 8th house, the house of investments. So be very careful and also take a look at your personal planets in your natal chart and the relationship between this eclipse energy and your personal planets. Okay, and the last rising sign, we will go to Pisces rising, the most accurate, followed by Pisces sun and Pisces moon. For my dear Pisces rising friends, this partial solar eclipse in the sign of Virgo will happen in your 7th house. This is about your marriage, relationship, your one-on-one partnership. This is also about your audience, your marketplace, and also about your business partnership. So those things, big shakeup, unpredictable shakeup could happen of eclipse energy. This is also a south node and 29 degrees anaretic degrees eclipse. So the theme of letting go is strong. But this is nonetheless an eclipse, a new moon on steroids. So maybe you have a not so good relationship with your partnership in terms of business, or maybe your marriage is in trouble right now. This is the time, right? This is the time for introspection, the time for you to find a solution. Let go of the ego. Let go of the things that is not working in order for you to gain something new in terms of your partnership, whether it's marriage or personal one-on-one relationship, including also your business partnership. So just make sure you trust the universe, you let go, right? And then focus on the good side. Focus on the good side. Do not cling too tightly on that shadowy Virgo side of very judgmental, very overcritical, right? Very perfectionist. No. In relationship, those kind of things will not work. So trust the universe.